There's actually a buddy of mine in our carpool. He told me about this, and when he told me it was, a Christian men's group at a brewery, I was like, okay, I really thought that something like that should exist, but didn't really know that it did. So jumped online, found out about it, and went to my first base camp. That was probably a year and a half ago. Just been going back as often as I can, and I try to get my boys, two of my sons come whenever they can, and just love it. It's interesting because based on the story, it does open up conversations you can have with your sons, and that they could be struggling with some of the same things that stories are being told, and you didn't know that. So it can be, a revealing time, but it's really good for them, I think, because they can listen. Even if you tell your story to your son, they can hear that. But I think it really different hearing another man's story that they might be able to connect with, because not everybody can connect with their father's story. So I think it gives them some opportunities to do that and to make that connection with other men. My wife and I are in small groups at church. It's usually couples groups, but to be able to connect with other guys, I was missing that, and so it really gives me that ability to do that in a non-threatening way. I think sometimes couples groups, with spouses, you can't necessarily share things that you would. So it really gives guys an opportunity to be real with each other and be a man, really. When I first hear some of the stories, I think, wow, I don't have a story like that. And it really makes me think about, maybe I have a story, and that's what other guys will say. Well, you have a story, you just have to figure it out. And I think that's the interesting thing. I keep coming back to base camp because I'm still trying to figure out what my story is and how that fits into God's plan for other people. How can I share it? What is my story that I can share with other people so that they can see, you can trust God in all situations, and God is there? Because I think sometimes people think, well, you just go to church on Sunday and that's all there is. But really it's how do you interact with God, and how do you trust Him every day of the week? I think it's important because it's a safe place. It's kind of what happens at base camp stays at base camp, but you can also support each other and pray for each other and throughout the week, and you make that connection. You see other people, and you might see them outside of base camp, and so you can support them in that way. But I think it's a good, safe place for men to see that you can be a man and you can share those things together. So.